We start with shocking images from Parliament today, where a tumultuous session descended into pandemonium and President Cyril Ramaphosa had no option but to be dragged out of Parliament in the midst of shouting and escalating political tensions. What had appeared on the surface to be a run-of-the-mill parliamentary session had turned into a pandemonium, leaving MPs aghast and the country riveted by this dramatic turn of events. Before we delve into the specifics of this event and its implications for the future of politics in South Africa, remember and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button in case you miss any breaking news alerts. Witnesses report that there was already a lot of tension in the chamber before all this happened. Heated debates between MPs reached a boiling point, where personal insults replaced a disagreement in procedure. People raised their voices, points of order were dismissed, and a voice of authority struggled to calm them down. Matters deteriorated to a level where a president was interrupted a number of times, forcing parliamentary authorities to call in security personnel. As a matter of surprise, it was then that a situation transformed into one of complete chaos in Parliament. Some members banged their tables in protest, others walked out in disgust, and shouting and chanting filled the hall, drowning out attempts to maintain order. Those viewing the event live said the experience was shocking, unusual, and very disturbing. The implication of removing a serving president from Parliament is extremely significant, whatever the context and whatever the crisis. It calls into question immediately the onset of issues around authority, the respect for the democratic process, and the implications for leadership. Teetering at the center of the drama were ever-increasing disputes over accountability questions and a lack of answers on sensitive issues. The opposition lawmakers called for instant explanations about sensitive issues, with accusations of the head of state dodging direct replies to these questions. The supporters of the head of state asserted the disruptions were planned to diminish the office of the presidency. It remains a fact that the parliamentary procedure does permit the expulsion of any member if there is no way to restore order. However, deporting the head of state correlates to far greater pressures. Still, within the ANC, there was a mixed reaction to the incident. Some members hurried to defend their president, saying that his removal was disrespectful and threatened the tenets of democracy. Others, speaking on condition that their names not be used, admitted that the occurrence was an indication of the mounting pressure against President Ramaphosa's leadership. The opposition parties, on the other hand, stood divided on the issue. While others celebrated the occasion, others warned that turning the parliament into a battlefield could further undermine trust for the MPs. One thing that was clear, however, was that nobody was left in the chamber unaffected by the incident. In the country, there were instant reactions as news of what happened at Parliament went viral. Social media sites were filled with reactions of shock, anger, and rumors. Many people from South Africa were concerned about how the country was represented internationally, while others felt that this chaos is a manifestation of frustrations against the government. In essence, citizens found something to contemplate about by viewing how Parliament was brought into disarray. According to political analysts, the events of the day did not take place in a vacuum. They have been many years in the making and are now being fueled by conflict and a lack of trust in institutions. The Parliament that once was a place to hold discussions and reach solutions is now becoming the place of confrontation, and hence the removal of Ramaphosa from the House is now being interpreted as a symbol of an institution that is struggling and seeing dialogue give way to disruption. For Ramaphosa, however, this incident is the additional pressure in what must be a very demanding tenure as president. While opponents say it is a sign of losing grip on power, his fans feel that he has been victimized in a plot to keep him from being effective as a president. However, whichever side of the divide one may belong to, the fact is that it has all had a very damaging effect on perceptions of leadership. The attention now turns to what happens next. Are there going to be any kind of disciplinary actions? Are the rules of the Parliament going to fall into consideration? Are there going to be any kinds of dialogue from the politicians, or is this conflict going to continue to heighten? Experts say if things are not taken into consideration now, this could start an explosion of reactions down the line. The nation is watching, understanding that situations like this are what shape the historical part of politics. A conflict of this nature in the parliamentary setting has presented a new chapter in politics within the nation of South Africa, and this is yet to continue to develop in full scope. If you'd like to keep up with what's coming down the line, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share your comments below.